Welcome, guys, to a new episode of Rich and Rich FC. I'm your host, Rich, with my guy, Rich. Rich, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. Tough week, tough week,
Ah,
tough week, but still going, we're still going. We're up there.
that's good. That's good, man. So, Chelsea also had a tough week, I guess, tied to quarterback, but hey, it is what it is.
What country are they from?
I think
Who's,
Kazakhstan.
who's okay? One of them stands.
Yeah, one of the stands, yeah. But Chelsea didn't put out their big guns. I guess the rotations was going on. I'm pretty sure when it gets to like maybe the deeper stages, they might, play the big guns. But
Yeah,
ultimately, it wasn't a loss. So,
Maresca thought it was the Conference League or something.
I mean, it might as well be if you're playing a very bad Ajax, a mediocre Benfica, playing quarterback. I mean, you're not going to risk injury to your top players playing them when you're
Gotcha.
trying to fight for the Premier League and also also hoping for Champions League. So you might want to rotate every now and then. Also, remember the cup competitions are there as well,
Gotcha.
and they play with injuries. But let's get into some Premier League action this weekend. First off, we have a big game between Spurs at home versus United. Amorim just got manager of the month, and Embuemo got player of the month.
Embuemo.
How do you think this game is going to go, provided Spurs were really bad last week against Chelsea?
To be honest, I want to give Man United, the benefit of a doubt. But the issue is when you think they're good on a roll, they find a way to mess it up. Now, the last games, I'm thinking, and they're about to beat what Nottingham Forest. Nottingham
Yeah,
Forest is not even, they don't even have a coach.
I
And
mean,
guess
they got one. Hmm.
and guess what? Disappointment. So I'm not really sure what to make of it. Yes, they're still in good form. They haven't lost, but it's one of those things when you're saying, man, I'm just not sure about Man United, because you're in a good form. You're playing one of the worst teams in Forest that's on a bad form, and then you go and draw them. And
They
then,
should have lost that game.
they should have they should have lost that game. But it is what it is. So I'm not really sure where to lean. Spurs too. Spurs are one of those teams. They can be bad, they can be good. There's no consistency. No consistency with United and Spurs, to be honest. So I find it hard to choose between these teams. And at least with Man United, they're not playing any league games or cup games. They're just basically playing for the league and they can't even sort it out. So it's hard to support them. But on the other hand, it's like, man, I hope they can sort it out. So, because Man United is doing good, it's good for the league, to be honest.
How so?
Man United is one of the bigger teams in England and in the world, to be honest. And, right now, with EPL, you know, Arsenal seems to be running away with it. So if Man United can be competitive, that top four, it makes it very hard for all the rest, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, even Spurs. So when they're doing good, it's good for the league, to be honest. And they have a lot of fans. So their fans like to make noise when they're doing good. Right now,
I
they have to
mean,
be quiet.
provided the is going to make the top four competitive, how does you? I don't think Arsenal will want United breathing down their necks. Neither do Liverpool, City, Chelsea, all those teams. I don't think they'll be wanting to wanting to have what you might call United perform it. So that'll be one team or one less team to have to worry about.
No, no, this is for the fans, for the neutral fans. It's good for us. We don't care who's doing well or who's not. We just want to see that it's competitive. I don't have a specific team in EPL, but I like when all the teams are competitive and they're playing against each other, and none of the games are really easy for them.
I mean, for the neutral standpoint, yes, we want to, like, if I'm watching a game, I want it to be competitive, regardless if it's West Ham versus Forest or West Ham versus Wolves. I want it to be competitive. But
Mhm.
looking like on the long term, I wouldn't pray United to be doing well because,
But
especially if I'm Chelsea. But I get your point
but
on
yeah,
good for
and
the
to
league. Yeah,
be honest, United have been doing well recently.
yeah.
They've kind of weathered that storm after the whole Grimsby ordeal. You know, to be honest, I thought that Amoran he had to like Thanksgiving, but now it's looking like and they're giving the fans hope, and hope is important when you're supporting a team. So,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the players are coming alive, and Buemo's coming alive, Cunha's coming alive, even Sesko, he's scoring goals, even if they're not like quality or I don't think he's reached his potential, but you can see, what he brings. So.
Yeah. Look, let's talk about United a little bit more. Looking at your team, right? It seems like Embuemo is the focal point, the main star driving that team forward. Losing him to the AFCON next month, from about a month or two, depending on how far they go into the competition.
Mhm.
Are they gonna miss him a lot, or do they have enough to cope?
It depends on the schedule, right? So it depends on who they're playing, obviously. But he's come on and he's having an impact there, and you see all of his qualities. So I definitely think they're gonna miss him. But they have people like Mason Mount. Um, I don't know if Ahmed is going to AFCON, but Ahmed
He's
could.
also going as well.
He's going okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, see that's one of the things about the African players. Man, it's tough if you got good ones because they're gonna go. Even if Liverpool, Salah's gonna go, but I think
Mhm.
Liverpool will cope with that because, to be honest, Salah hasn't had that great of a season yet, and
Yeah.
Isak should be back. So, I mean, that's why you need a deep
Deep
bench,
squad.
yeah, a deep squad to help you out. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely will. I think hinder them, but it also depends on the strength of schedule, and maybe it'll give Cunha more opportunity to shine. So, and I mean, one person leaves, they still have star players, and Bruno can push up too. So that may also force Bruno to push up more.
With that schedule that they have, we highlighted a little bit last week. Um, Bournemouth, Villa, Newcastle, Wolves, Leeds, Burnley, and possibly Man City.
Mhm.
Right? That's the games that Mbuemo and Diallo are gonna miss. Now, which of these, I mean, we can point out maybe Leeds and Burnley and Wolves. Those three around Christmas, they can, you know, win without them or do get some points out of those games without those guys. But Villa, Bournemouth, City, Newcastle, those would be tough games without those good guys.
Yeah, I mean, with them, it's even tough. So without them, it's going to be tougher, obviously. But I mean, we're gonna see how good of a coach Amaron is, and I mean, technically they can buy players, but
In
I
general,
don't,
yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do. So it just depends, to be honest.
Okay. Well, now looking at Spurs, they are very depleted with injuries. Kulusevski, Madison, Dragusin, Bergval, Ben Davies, Archie Gray, Kudus is very doubtful, Basuma, Solanke doubtful again, and Takai. All these players are vital for the Spurs squad. With their absence, you think they can get a point or a win at home versus United?
I wouldn't put it past. Frank Thomas. I mean, he's done more with less. So that's the only saving grace, I would say, that they have a coach that obviously has proven himself with a lesser team. But I expect him to be competitive regardless. Yeah, so I mean, as long as Kudus is having a good season for them so far, and you kind of see how big of an impact he had at West Ham because he's like the missing piece from West Ham, and West Ham all of a sudden is like a relegation team. So it seems like he was actually his value has actually increased, even going to Tottenham. So I mean, I think there's one more big team for him to get to be honest.
Okay. Now, moving away from Tottenham versus United, Burnley, West Ham is the next game. West Ham at home. What do you think?
From what I've seen from West Ham, they're bad. They have a lot of flaws. They don't have any confidence, and to be honest, their midfield is one of the worst midfields I've seen in the Premier League this year. Um, it seems like other than Peketa and Bowen, um, they can't really do much. They don't really have a striker, so
Hmm.
it's a lot. It's a lot to be honest.
Okay. And Burnley are looking good. If they're able to get a point or a win, they stay above West Ham. However, West Ham getting a win puts them level with Burnley. So
Mhm.
hopefully they can do something with that. Now we have Everton, Fulham. They're doing really well. Both teams actually, but they can do better. What do you think? What do you think the game will be? The outline and the score line.
Anybody can win those games, those types of games, obviously. To be honest, Fulham offensively they're nice, but they also, you know, give up goals. And then Everton is Everton. It's like we expect them to stay in the league, but they don't really do much. They always have nice defense. This year is Jack Grealish helping them out. But rather than that, I don't really expect anything from both teams. Could be a tie, or just lean towards the home team to take the dub. Barely.
Hmm. Grealish is really stepping up this season. Like stepping up to the plate.
He's on a bad team.
I
You know,
mean,
when you're a good player, you go to a bad team, they make you look better. So when you
come
go to a
on.
good
Hmm.
when you go to a good team, that's where you need to shine, man.
Come on, man. Grealish is balling this season.
Right, I can do that for Everton. What he's doing for Everton,
All
I
right,
can.
chill. All right, then next up we have the new boys in Sunderland taking on Arsenal at home. Um, what do you think? They've been good. Sunderland's been good. We cannot dispute that. So,
Yeah, Sunderland has been good, but this is Arsenal, baby. I don't see any other team winning this year other than Arsenal.
and
The best,
remember, Sunderland's in the top four.
the best Sunderland can do is get a draw. But I expect the Arsenal right now is like a machine. You know, I don't think they believe they can lose, to be honest. And it's not like people can even score on them. It's not like they're even giving them a chance to score. So that's how I'm even looking at it. You can score on them, and they can score on you.
The thing is, looking up, yes,
Yeah,
Arsenal have
and
only considered 3 goals in 10 games, right?
three
Three
goals.
three goals in 10 games in the Premier League,
Having scored 3 goals in one game,
right? Now, they've scored 18 goals this season in 10
but
games.
15 goal difference.
You're, yes, plus 15. However, their top goal scorer has four
Who's that?
Yokkers.
Okay.
4 goals.
Yes.
Like you said, Haaland can score that in one game,
Yes.
right?
But that's Haaland.
If if teams start to not allow them to score goals and somehow find a way to score goals, they're gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Well, how are they gonna stop them from not scoring goals? Because it seems like they have figured this thing out since last year. So it's not like something new they're doing. Everybody knows what they do. It's like basketball, right? When they give you free throws, it's free.
That's true, right?
They're
But
scoring every game. It's every game. They're doing it.
but if they're not producing, going for it, and they're keeping a clean sheet,
Mhm.
that leads to a draw. They're dropping 2 points.
Yes.
If they do that for 4 games straight,
Hmm.
and the people around them pick up maximum points, they're not winning the league that way.
I get your point. But you know what I figured out when Arsenal had, kind of become like top of the pack is when they played City and City decided to defend. I've never seen City just decide to defend and give up possession to another team to
That's
get a
true.
draw. So
That's true.
that's how I'm like, this is different.
Yeah.
So
But
I'm not
given
I'm not sure many teams can get a point off Arsenal.
but
They
given
can't
the
even,
personnel that City had in that game, I think that was the right call because if City decided to play, open up, pass, and hold possession, I don't think they could have got the point at
yeah,
least.
I agree. And and I'll make another scary point. Like even Saka hasn't been up to that level. And it seems
Yeah,
like
2 goals.
he's getting back in form. Because if you watch the last game in Champions League, the guy had like 5 shots on target. So, and he has been injured coming out. So it's like they don't care. Gyökeres was out, they don't care. They won. Saka was out, they don't care. They won. What's the other guy? He just came. The Spanish midfielder.
Oh, Marino.
No, Mourinho actually was scoring goals. Like
Yeah,
he's, he was scoring goals like he's better than Gyökeres even. So
I
it,
mean,
it seems like even when people are injured, it doesn't matter. Odegaard is out, they don't care. Eze came in and scored like a goal. So Rice was scoring goals. Rice. It doesn't matter.
hmm.
The whole team can score. It's not dependent on one person. See, this is why I fear for Man City. If Haaland is injured, that team is finished.
No, no, I doubt it.
It's finished.
But we'll get to Man City when we get to there later on.
What I'm saying is, well, for Arsenal is they find ways to win. Set piece, open play, set piece, open play. You can't score them. So it's like, brother, you can't do nothing.
Hmm.
In this moment, I don't see a team unless something happens because the form they're on. Check their record. They haven't lost. The first game they lost was to Liverpool, and even when you watch the game, it took a wonderful free kick, something that's not normal to beat them.
Yeah, yeah.
And this was when we thought Liverpool was, gonna run away with the league. But come find out they're having their own problems.
So is the trouble on for Liverpool then? I mean, Arsenal.
And trouble is hard, brother. I don't know how many teams they have to win the league before they think about trouble. Think about one step, one step. Your goal this year, just win the league. Don't worry about Champions League. Don't worry about the FA Cup and all of that. Just win the league.
I mean, there are 4 wins in Champions League, 0 goals conceded, scored 11 goals.
You have to. The thing with EPL is it's very competitive, and when it's coming to the end of the season, you're gonna be tired. So it's up to the coach to manage that situation, but they've never done it before. And this is with every big team, right? Especially when you're playing in in the EPL. When you're playing in those smaller teams like Paris and Spain, usually the championship is already decided. EPL usually it gets to the end before it's decided. So now you have to figure out if you're going to play your A team for Champions League or your B team. So, and how you rotate. So I think they should focus more on playing their star players for the league, the EPL, so they can win the league. I think that's more important than Champions League at this point.
So in your opinion, you're saying Arsenal should prioritize the Premier League ahead of the Champions League,
Yes,
something they haven't won before.
it takes some luck to win Champions League, to be honest. You know, the league is about consistency. Champions League is about opponent who's healthy. It's not always the best team that wins. The league, at least you just have to be most consistent. So I would say it's a lot easier to win the league in regards because of how many games you have. Where Champions League, injuries come in play. There's just a whole bunch of factors.
Hmm.
And
See.
I think in order to establish themselves as like the next dynasty, you want to win the league first.
Okay. Now, we're switching up to Sunderland. With them being one of the new boys and doing so well and also finding themselves in the top four, how do you think they can beat kind of Arsenal, who are like kind of unbeatable right now?
Well, they're in good form, so they're confident. They have nothing to lose. It's not like there's pressure on them and you can play freely. If you lose, you're supposed to lose. So you don't really have anything, to lose because you were supposed to lose. So that kind of frees them up where the pressure is more on Arsenal because they're supposed to win. And, if you're going away to Arsenal, you're going to sit back and absorb, obviously, the pressure and then try to hit them on the counter. Obviously, their coach is doing good. The players are good. They're confident. Anything is possible. They don't have anything to lose. So that's what they have. They can go out there and play.
Hmm. Just play that game, you say. And
If
next
you lose,
up,
what do you lose? You're supposed to lose.
hey, they lose 3 points.
You're supposed, I don't think anybody in their right
Uh,
mind, these guys were going to be in the top four.
I mean, that's true.
Not even their own fans. I think when they did an interview where they asked one of their players, and he didn't even know. It was even shocked they were like second at the time.
Yeah, right now they're living the fairy tale of Leicester when they
Yeah,
came up and won the league, but I don't think they're
this
at that
this would be
stage yet.
yeah
But
this would be more crazier than Leicester.
that's true.
More crazy.
It's true.
Yeah,
But next up, we had Chelsea versus Wolves, who had the tough time against Karabakh with their quote unquote B team or C team.
yeah.
They had some injuries with Lavia as well. So Caicedo had to play. He's played a lot of games this season, being their best player as well. How do you think it's gonna go? Provided Wolves have sacked their manager, are they gonna be in a new manager bounce, or it's just gonna be another day in the office of taking a loss?
Chelsea should win. I mean, you have better players. You're playing against one of the worst teams in the league. So it should be an easy win for Chelsea. Obviously, a bounce back win. We can. I don't even know why you didn't use this A team for against Karabakh and just use your B team against Wolves. But obviously, that goes to prioritizing the league or the Champions League, and I guess they thought they could beat Karabakh with even the B team and rest those guys up for the league. The league is important, obviously. And obviously, you want to get the top four because it's not likely that you're going to win the Champions League. So I think in one hand, you're trying to balance it. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Well, with Maresca this week, he came out and said that, hey, he has a big squad, a lot of games he had to rotate. Rooney gave me a lot of stick for that. Do you think right now teams are soft that they have to rotate, or is Rooney onto something?
it's so I think it just depends on what your priorities are. You know, are you trying to win the league? Are you trying to win Champions League? And for those teams that are like in between where hey, we just need to finish top four. And then hey, we just need to get to the quarterfinals. Some team is trying to win the league, some team is trying to get to quarterfinals. Some team is trying to win a Champions League, and somebody's just trying to get top four. So it depends on the coach. So how I see it, it's more or less like the coach saying prioritizing top four and then prioritizing getting to the later stages of the league, Champions League, not necessarily winning it. So I think that's where maybe the criticism for Rooney comes from. Like they're not trying to win it, but you have to understand from the perspective of the coach that he has to balance it. So and he does have a big squad, so he can use them. And to be honest, I would say the team he pulled out that they had enough to win the game. They were playing quarterback, to be honest. So
Yeah,
you can't disrespect these teams either because you give them hope and they'll cause you more trouble than you think.
that's true. I mean, most of the goals they scored were errors from the young center back Hato, but I think they still should have done better. It took Garnacho coming on to kind of get the tie, but it
Wow,
is
I thought
it
you
is
guys
one
did
of those.
not true.
What?
I think Chelsea fans are hating on Garnacho a bit.
No, 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 no. Garnacho right now, uh, he's trying to get the fans on his side. He comes on, does his bit, but still, those days, those United days, kind of makes him hard to love. But I think he's getting there.
Got you.
Putting in shit, nice performances. So think eventually, I believe by the end of the season, they're gonna like him. They're gonna really like him.
Okay.
But hopefully Chelsea gets the dub. Doesn't ruin my weekend. But hey,
What
listen,
happened to this guy Gittins?
getting his he's
How
getting
much was
accustomed. He's getting accustomed.
how much was he
Gittins, let me see. Think about mm, 50?
for Gittins?
Yeah. That's small. That's low money. Low money.
Okay.
Low money for my boys.
And
Gittins was about
Yonkers was how much?
74.
So 24 million difference.
Between who?
Gittins and Yonkers.
Okay. So Yonkers, you're talking Arsenal being cheap and and
Chief,
Gittins was more about Dortmund trying to get every penny they can get because he's young.
I don't see
But
the potential though.
he has potential. He just needs to
I see him like
be more
Sancho.
consistent.
He's like Sancho, a worse version of Santo. Sancho.
No, 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 no. No, I think they're very different. But
No.
let's move on to Leeds, right? Leeds versus Forest. Now, Leeds and Forest, they kind of are about the same. But what do you think?
Leeds plays better at home. So whenever they're at home, they seem to be able to get a result. When they're not home, they struggle. Forest, I mean, they tied menu. They look a lot better. Watching the menu game, Gibbs White was balling. So I really don't know if it's at home to Forest. Forest can get a result.
Forest is at home.
Okay, then they can get a result. Leeds tend to not do so well. Seems like that home field advantage then helps them out.
Okay. And then next we have Palace Brighton. I think that'll be a very good game. Mateta missing a PK midweek, but let's see if it affects him during the weekend. What do you think?
Yeah, very interesting game. Brighton is very offensive, so I mean they're a very interesting club. How they just replace people, they replace coaches, and it seems like they find new stars. I like the way Minte has taken that next step, even around Mitomo. Uh, seems
Mitoma.
like Mito market.
Yeah.
Seems like he's taken another step. And well back too, he seems to be somehow fighting somehow finding the goals from nowhere. He's that one striker that, he he's there and he seems to produce whenever you need him a bit. So he's an interesting guy. How long he's lasted, to be honest.
I mean,
Uh,
yeah, there have been
yeah.
shouts about him being recalled to the national team as
To
a
do what?
backup for Harry Kane.
Who else is the backup? They don't have a.
Ollie Watkins,
Yeah, he's having a bad year. Yeah.
yeah, Liam Delap, but he's young, so
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Tony is gone.
yep.
Oh man. Okay. I can see it.
And then there's obviously Brentford, Newcastle,
I
and
think they'll take
then
the lap though because he's young.
if he can stay healthy, but
Yeah, he too has been very inconsistent.
and then there's Brentford, Newcastle, and then there's Villa, Bournemouth,
Uh,
and then the final and marquee game of the weekend, we have Man City versus Liverpool.
you'll never
Let's
walk home.
let's dive right into it. Man
Yes,
City at home, Haaland on form, so Liverpool back on track. What do you think? How do you see this going?
I
Give me.
think Liverpool wins. I feel like Liverpool,
Really?
yeah, they've changed their formation and they've been using Soberslide more. And I think that's the main reason that's working. They're playing the three in the midfield that's played last year pretty much together. And they
Hmm.
seem to have found a lot of positive uh, things with that formation that they're using. They've moved my boy Words out of that 10 role. So it seems like that's the main difference. And the defense seems to have, gotten a lot tighter. I don't know if it's Robertson or Bradley, but it seems like maybe Kirkes is not ready because maybe he's running up too much out of position. So, but it seems like they definitely like Liverpool, and traditionally Liverpool have done better against the City. With
That's true.
City, the thing with Haaland is he can be neutralized by Van Dijk. So that thing, he can be neutralized. So
I don't think Van Dijk of this season can take on Haaland right now. Um,
well, I've never seen Haaland do so well against them. So sometimes it's the matchup that matters.
okay.
And Liverpool kept Real Madrid very quiet
All
during
right.
the weekend. So I
So at that left back position for Liverpool right now, Kirkes not in great form. Robo coming on and making that role zone again. Can he play 3 games in a row? He's
I,
old. I don't think he can go up and down like he used to seasons past. Do you think he can do that at a high level against this Man City side?
yeah, I think they can. I
Three
think
games straight?
he's not that old, man. I just think they wanted a younger left back, and that's why they went to get Kirkes. But obviously that doesn't seem to have been. So far, it doesn't seem like. I mean, Kirkes scored a goal, so it's kind of weird. But maybe
Eh.
it's kind of weird. So when
uh,
when Robertson played, they didn't give up a goal. So I mean, maybe it's just the chemistry in the back four is better with Robertson, but I don't see like Robertson slowing down. And Liverpool not the old Liverpool where they had the right and left back just running up and down.
mhm.
They don't do that anymore.
They can't. They don't have Trent to pull players to him because of his passing range. And
Yeah,
Robo doesn't have that pace or strength to go up and down anymore. So it kind of makes them talking a little bit.
didn't have it, or they just don't need him to do it because of the wingers now. They don't necessarily, I guess, you know,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
I feel like Robo right now doesn't have it because if he did, he will be starting with Kirkers from start of the season,
I
right?
think with Kirkis, right? It's just they bought him to replace Robo because he's a younger player and he had a very good season last year. And I think he still needs to adjust to Liverpool and to this level to be consistent. So he hasn't found his form, to be honest. But Robo has been very consistent when he plays.
Yeah,
So
but
what
it
the upside of Kirkis is higher
yeah,
right now.
that's true.
Right now.
But it took the inconsistency of Kirkes for them to realize we need to put Robo back on.
Yeah, but even that, I think they've been subbing them one game, another game, and I think the last two games Robo got it, but I think they'll bring Kirkis back because it's a big squad. So, he'll get his chance again.
Well, we can talk about Man City without talking about Foden. Right now, Foden is hot. He's telling the whole world that, hey, the Bruyne is gone. I wanted that role. I'm telling you why I have that role now. What do you think
Well,
about our boy, about Foden?
I think he's had a couple good games. So I mean, he's a good player. He was the player of the year like 2 years ago. So
Hmm.
everybody knows he has the quality, just the consistency. But even that, so the last game or the last two games, Shirky had a good game.
Hmm.
But the problem with City is Pep. You never know what he's thinking and who's going to change.
I mean, we all know there's one
So that
person that's consistent.
that issue is there. Even if you're having a good game, he can just take you out.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
one thing too.
But
So
looking at this, heading to this game, looking at City from the past few games, you can see that Doku, Savinho, Haaland, Foden, they are all picking up form.
yeah.
That's something that Liverpool should be worried about.
Mm. The thing is, City have lost that fear factor. Like a couple years ago, when you play City, you know they were gonna have the possession. You
Okay.
know they were gonna outscore you. But now it's not like that. If Haaland doesn't have a good game, and then that's it.
So who do you
They
think is gonna win?
could be a tie, but if it's City at home, City should be favored. But Liverpool traditionally does good against them because of their present style and because of their style of plays usually. But I feel like this year, City has kind of changed a little bit their style of play to add a little bit more to accommodate Haaland more. So it's not
Okay.
all about possession. They'll play that ball behind and just let him run. It's very easy for him to score now than before.
Hmm. So now Salah, right? Salah
Yes,
is picking up form. He had a tap in, you know,
a
against
mistake.
Villa. Yeah. And then against Madrid, he didn't do much. Now,
Yeah, a competitive game.
what do you think he's gonna do this weekend against City?
Who's he playing against? Nunez or
I think
O'Reilly?
O'Reilly, yeah.
Yeah, so Salah, he's been winning his one-on-one matchups, man. It's just the scoring and assisting isn't there. Um, so, I mean, he puts pressure on you. That's what he does. He puts pressure on a lot of teams. He should have a good game. Um, but, in these big games, it's usually someone out of nowhere, someone who's not the main star who scores in these types of games. So I expect like Gakpo or Cherky or Foden or one of them. Yeah, the stars don't usually like score in these types of big games usually. So or even like the defenders.
But I feel like I'm confident to call that is gonna score in this game.
I'm not
And if it
confident.
ends 1-0, will be Haaland's goal.
I'm not confident because I feel like they're going to focus on him and keep him out of the game, and they know how to deal with him. This is not the first time they are playing against him.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it's that hard. Look at even how Arsenal deals with him. They pretty much are able to neutralize him.
I mean, he's a big man, and if you leave him,
Yeah, he's big,
nah.
but usually if you have like big, strong defenders like Gabriel and what's the other guy's name? That French guy.
Saliba?
Yeah, Saliba, Van Dijk, who are like quick enough to deal with him. They usually can impose their will on him too. And he's not like somebody who's going to score 1v1. He needs those chances created. Like I said, in the last game, they just they just run onto it. It's like a racetrack. And that's what he did, was just running, like track and field.
Mm.
Yeah,
Now,
of course. No, go
now,
ahead.
last thing I want to touch on, right,
Mhm.
is can Pep do it? Can he mount up like a title charge to make sure he wins the
I've
season? He wins the
lost,
league.
I've lost my faith in Pep, to be honest. Even when he was doing well, every now and then he'll do something crazy. And now they're doing bad. He's still doing the same thing. So,
He's consistent.
yeah, but I don't think he has. Nobody's afraid of City, to be honest.
That's
Those
true.
those teams in the big four, they're not afraid of City because first you go to City, you are gonna play defense and absorb them, but now you can attack them, and the defenders are not that great, and they don't have a great CDM like that, so they're vulnerable. They're vulnerable, and they give up some bad goals sometimes, even though they have this goalkeeper. What's his
Donnarumma.
Yeah, Donnarumma. For him too, he can make some mistake. The last game, he did some mistake, and then he was trying to say it was a foul. You're like 7 feet, and you are getting pushed in a box in a
Hey,
corner kick. Come
it
on, man.
happens. It happens.
Uh,
But yeah. So now let's do a quick recap on all the games this weekend.
mhm.
Uh, Give me quick score lines and wins. Uh, let's start with Spurs United. Score line. Who's winning?
1-1 tie.
Okay. Who's
Tie.
scoring?
1-1 tie.
Who's scoring?
Buemo.
And for Spurs,
Who knows? Maybe Kudus.
Kudus, if he plays. All right. West Ham taking on Burnley.
2-1 West Ham. It's home at West Ham.
Yeah.
They need to win 2-1.
All right. Everton, Fulham.
1-1.
Sunderland, Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal.
With that game, I'm going 1-1.
2-0. I don't see how Sunderland scores. Who's the
1-1 from a
who's
set
the
piece.
do you even know the striker?
Uh,
Do you know who scores for
Mayenda. I think striker is
him?
Mayenda. Uh, Isidore. Isidore is one of them. Leafy is one of them. Traore. Granit Xhaka's return.
Next game, next game.
But, you know, then we have Chelsea Wolves
2-1 Chelsea.
2-1. Man, I'm going with 2-0. Quick. Y'all Pedro and Garnacho. Um, Forest Leeds.
2-1 lead Forest. I
Okay,
think
I'm saying
they'll get back on track. They just tied United, so
I'll take that. And I also have Gibbs White scoring. So Palace, Brighton,
to score or assist.
both
Okay, Palace and Brighton. Where they playing?
Palace.
2-1 Palace. I like Palace.
All right, Brentford, Newcastle.
Newcastle should be Brentford.
Okay. Aston Villa, Bournemouth.
Hmm. 1-1.
Okay.
The
And
Bournemouth
then who's scoring?
should be
All right, I figured you say that. And then Man City, Liverpool.
1-1.
Who's scoring?
Uh, Ekitike and Haaland.
Who scores first?
I don't know. How can I know? I would
Hey,
be, I would,
if you put it in a parlay, you got to put it down. So,
I, I would be a millionaire if I do these things.
hey, maybe if you put it down this
All
week.
I'm going to say is that both strikers should be able to do something. So
Well,
1-1.
1-1, he said. All right, guys. So this is what we have for this week. Hopefully, our predictions come true this weekend. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I hope to see you guys next time.